Good morning, dear students. In the previous class, we have discussed about Newton's first law of motion, linear momentum, and rate of change of momentum. In today's class, we are going to derive the Newton's second law of motion. You know already, the Newton's first law of motion defines the force only in a quantitative way, right? That is, a force is defined as it is the cause which changes the state of an object when it is applied on the body. If you want to produce an acceleration in a body, we must apply a force. Consider it is an object, now it is in a state of rest. When a force is applied on it, it will start to move. It means an acceleration is produced here. Acceleration is produced when force is applied on this body. So actually the force is the cause to produce an acceleration in the body. Consider a tennis ball. So it's a tennis ball. Now push the tennis ball very gently or very smoothly, then the ball which acquires a less amount of acceleration because of less force is applied on the tennis ball, and ball acquires a lesser velocity. On the same tennis ball, if you applied a large amount of force, then the large amount of force produces a larger acceleration in the body, then the ball acquires a larger velocity. Thus, from these two conditions, we can conclude that the magnitude of two force, initially the tennis ball is pushed very gently. In the second case, the tennis ball is pushed very hardly. It means in the first case, the force, less amount of force is applied. In the second case, that is F2, a large amount of force is applied. So here the magnitude of these two forces can be calculated, can be obtained by measuring the acceleration produced in the body in a certain interval of time. Right? So here just assume the force F1 produces an acceleration of 5 meter per second square in the tennis ball, and the force F2 produces an acceleration of 10 meter per second square in the ball in the same interval of time. Then what happens here? The magnitude of force F2, that is 10 meter per second square, is twice of the magnitude of F1, that is 5 meter per second square. Thus, experimentally, Newton found that the magnitude of acceleration or the force needed to push the body is directly depends on the acceleration, or the acceleration produced in the body is depends on the force which is acting on the body. And if you consider the other example, or if you want to produce a same change in velocity in a same interval of time in two different bodies. Now consider one is football and one more one is tennis ball. Now you are going to produce a same change in velocity in these two bodies, but by their size we can come to know that these two bodies are having different mass. The football is having a larger mass compared to the tennis ball. So if you want to produce the same acceleration in these two bodies in the same interval of time, we need to apply a large amount of force on the football because of its larger mass, and we need to apply less amount of force on the tennis ball because of its less mass. Right? So from these two we can conclude that what we can conclude from these two examples. Here the force needed to produce the same acceleration in the body is depends on its mass. If a mass of a body, we need to apply larger amount of force to produce the same acceleration. If a mass of a body is less, we need to apply the same less amount of force on the tennis ball to produce the same acceleration. Thus, from these two, we can say that the force needed to push or produce an acceleration in the body is directly depends on the mass. So in the first case, the force needed to produce an acceleration is directly proportional to it. So F is directly proportional to A and F is directly proportional to M. So if you plot the graph of these two relations, for first F is directly proportional to A. It means as the large amount of force is applied on the body, a larger acceleration is produced. Then the acceleration versus force graph is a straight line inclined to the force axis. So in this case, mass of a body is constant. If you plot the graph for second relation, that is F is directly proportional to M. So if your mass of body is increases, we need to apply large amount of force. So that is force versus mass graph is a straight line inclined to the mass, but here acceleration is constant. Right? From these two relations, we can write that F is directly proportional to MA. If you remove this proportionality symbol, you will get F is equals to KMA. So where K is the proportionality symbol. So if you have taken the value of K equals to 1, then F is equals to MA, which gives the Newton's second law of motion. So this is the way to derive the Newton's second law of motion by using a certain examples. Thank you.